Hi guys, this is Lynn. Thank you so much for joining me for Journey to Be Me. Today we have author Rhudenia Hopes-Johnson. She's going to talk to us about her wonderful children's book. Just a second. Join us. Today for Autism Awareness Month, I'm so excited to talk to you guys about Autism Awareness with Miss Rhudenia Hopes-Johnson. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
Well, good evening. I'm a mother of two. My oldest son has Asperger's syndrome, and I am a first-time author. And I wrote a book, Tim Quincy The Elevator Kid, so that I can bring awareness to children and families that are on the autism spectrum.
Awesome. So, thank you so much for joining us today. I know sometimes it's difficult for people to share their personal stories, and I'm grateful that you're willing to share your personal story because it's going to help someone dealing with a similar situation. So, if you could tell us a little bit more about your book. Please tell us the story.
Okay, well, when my son was 9 years old, he was diagnosed with autism, Asperger's syndrome at 9, and he's always had a colorful personality, imagination, and for some reason he wanted to he told everyone that his name was Tim, and I said, okay, well, but his name is Quincy, and he loved at that time he loved elevators and the mechanics of elevators, and so it kind of just stuck with me, because a lot of times we would go and just go tour architectural buildings and high-rise skylines, and when we travel, and I developed the title for the book.
Okay, so you mentioned that this was your first thing that you've written. So tell us a little bit about your publishing company that you just started.
Well, the publishing company, Hopes to Dream Productions, is basically I got that name from my maiden name, Hopes, because my family, I have a lot of people that are musicians and educators, and just the arts and sciences is like in our DNA. And so I stepped out on faith, and I said, it's time to allow the new generation of our family to kind of explore their talents, and me founding this company is something that I can pass a legacy down to my sons.
Yes, ma'am.
And so I came up with Hopes to Dream Production Company.
Okay.
And the first idea of me becoming a writer was when I was in corporate America, which I'm a writer now, but I was having lunch with some coworkers, and we were just saying that there was not a good representation of children of color in books and on movies and cartoons and everything. That was about 5 years ago. It's taken me about 5 years to just come together and put everything together.
Okay. So in that time, you formed your publishing company, you published your book. So where do you see yourself going with your publishing company next? What's your goal next?
Well, I've written a song, and I would like to take Tim Quincy to the big screen. Okay. My next endeavor is to do a short film. Okay. Bringing Tim Quincy to the big screen, just so that we can just have a more broader range of awareness, so that everyone can see how it is to deal with or to communicate with people that's on the spectrum. Just to bring awareness. Everything is about awareness and tolerance of people that are a little bit different.
Awareness and tolerance of people that are a little bit different. I think that is so important, and that's a lot of what I do when it comes to when I talk to people like yourself, people that are sharing their personal stories. It's all about opening up people's eyes to different perspective, different things that people go through, because not everybody is meant to be the same. God gives everybody different blessings, and what one person has, the other person may not have. It doesn't mean that they're any less or better than anybody else. So tell us a little bit about, what do you hope, we kind of talked about it already, but what do you hope people get from sharing your story? What do you hope that people can get, parents especially, can learn about when they're coping, when they find out about their child is autistic? What do you hope that people get from your story?
Just to keep an open mind, that they're not in the world alone, and that just because you have a label, the label doesn't define you as a human. It doesn't define that you're going to always have issues with being autistic. There's a lot of successful people out there that has the title of being on the autism spectrum, and they're doctors and lawyers and entertainers, and it's just not to let the label of having a disability or learning challenge hold you back, that you can do whatever your heart desires. You're just going to learn in a different way.
Exactly. And from what I understand about the limited things that I understand about autism, because I am in some ways ignorant when it comes to it, so I'm glad that I had a chance to sit down and talk to you. So what I understand is that certain people on the autism spectrum are able to like focus in on certain things and really become adept at that particular thing. And so I think that is truly interesting and truly amazing. Can you tell us, April is Autism Awareness Month, by the way, guys. We're wearing our blue. So can you tell us a little bit about where your son falls on the spectrum and just about autism in general for those people that may not understand and may not know what autism is?
Okay, so autism is a social learning intellectual disability. My son has Asperger's syndrome. That's very, very, very high functioning.
Okay.
So he's able to be in general society and just be able to just be himself and be kind of like, so quote unquote, like we're all the same.
Okay.
But he does have particular interests that maybe, like as a child, he loved elevators, and he could tell you the engineering specs behind the elevator. He could tell you when they were developed, when they were invented. He could tell you everything he knew about certain buildings, architectural structures. The Tim Quincy, the Elevator Kid, travels on his magical elevator to different parts of the world.
Okay.
Some of the parts of the world that he goes and visits is his places that he's always wanted to go to.
Okay.
Some of the places that I always wanted to go to.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of what our family. It's a little bit of everything about our family is pretty much in the book. But what kid at 9 years old? A lot of times, kids are not interested in traveling across the world or wanting to know about elevators. And so the book is so unique to where it teaches kids that are on the autism spectrum that they can just be who they are. And it teaches the kids that he meets on the way to understand that to kind of be tolerant of each other, because just because Susie wants to play, she wants to color, and one other kid may just want to play football. It's just to show all kids around the world that you can be different
and be okay.
Yeah, and just love one another for who they are.
Right.
And it's just build family and friendship. And I know that when I was young, I just take people for who they are. Like, we all are different.
We are all different, and we all have special gifts. And I'm so excited to have my own copy of Tim Quincy, The Elevator Kid. I know my daughter is going to love reading it. I can't wait to share it with her when I get home. So we talked a little bit about, you said that you wanted to take Tim Quincy to the big screen. Is this going to be animation in your vision? Tell me about your vision for the next step for Tim Quincy.
Well, it's actually going to be live production. So we're going to have actresses, youth actresses and actors, and because I really want everyone to see the emotion behind when you meet someone that has a disability. Like I said, I worked in corporate America for about 15-20 years, and then when my son got diagnosed, I had to restructure my life. I had to be somewhere that was more work-life balance.
Right.
And so I went to work for the school district, and I was a paraprofessional in a life skills class, which is more of severe disabilities.
Yeah.
It's students with more severe disabilities. Now, we had some students on the autism spectrum, but those are more the nonverbal students, kids that just needed a little bit more assistance, and that really opened my eyes to a wider range of working with students and children with autism.
Well, I can imagine leaving corporate America was a big jump, and especially going from that. But I do understand, as a parent, we make these choices for our kids. We make the choices that we have to make. So I totally understand. I totally get you leaving corporate America to be there for your son. You needed to be more accessible to him. I totally understand that. And as a mother myself, I commend you, because I know that, you know, when you discovered it, it had to have been a challenge, but you've taken that challenge and turned it into something wonderful and beautiful. And I admire you for that.
Thank you.
So tell us where we can find your book so that we can purchase a copy of Tim Quincy, The Elevator Kid.
Well, Tim Quincy, The Elevator Kid can be purchased online at iuniverse.com. And that's the lowercase I. You can the lowercase I, because sometimes they'll mistake it for an L, but it's iuniverse.com, and that's where the book was published. And it could be, you can go online and purchase it, or you can contact me at Hope Stream Productions, and I can, if you're local, I can make arrangements to ship you the book as well.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap it up. I appreciate it. Appreciate you coming and sharing your story with me, as I love to share stories of not just people, but entrepreneurs, and especially Black women like myself, you know, doing something a little different. So I appreciate you coming to talk to me
And
today.
thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Guys, I want to just thank Miss Rhudenia Hopes-Johnson for joining us and joining me today and sharing her story, sharing it with you as well out there, guys. Again, Wigless Wednesdays is still a thing, so don't forget to join me on YouTube as well as on Saturdays for the Journey to Be Me podcast. Like I like to always say, be better today than you were yesterday, be better tomorrow than you were today. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.